Hey guys, how you doing? Gavin Timms here. I am with one of my coaching clients, Rob Steers. Rob, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we were just talking here. I just wanted to do a quick recording of a role play that we want to talk about and kind of role play. So give us a bit of a background what you want to do here. What kind of role play? What situation are you running into that you need kind of help with?
So the situation I'm kind of trying to fix is when I get the lead in from the VA and kind of doing that follow up call. Because a lot of times people like I already gave that information, just make me an offer type of a thing.
Got it. All right. So let's say then, so what's happening is the VA is pre-screening the lead. They're bringing information in, and now you are getting on the phone, correct?
Yep.
And you're saying it's getting a little awkward with that first initial in, like, well, I've already given you this information. Okay. So let's role play first what you're doing and how that's looking, and then look at what we could do differently.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna act a little more like that's what they're doing, just so I could see what you naturally would do. Make sense?
Yep.
So ring. I'm going to answer obviously because you're calling me. Okay.
Right.
So hello.
Hey, Gavin, this is Rob. Just following up, you talked to my assistant yesterday regarding your property at 123 Fake Street.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to follow up and answer any questions that you might have from me and what we do, and ask you a few more questions about the property. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, now's good. I gave her all the information yesterday.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to get a little bit more information, and I'm saying I apologize in advance if this is redundant, but just want to make sure that I have everything together so I can give you the best offer possible. So is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine. I just need an offer.
Yeah, I understand. I completely get that. But we can't really make an offer until I know a little bit more about the property. And and oftentimes people have questions that they need to know about us and what we do.
Okay.
It's important that I tell you that we're investors. We're not looking to live in the property, and answer any questions that you might have around that type of a situation.
Okay,
So,
right. So off role play real quick. Okay. So you did some good things in there. You obviously said about, I like the fact when you said, I'm asking you a few more questions so I can best, to give you the best possible offer. So that's really good. You went into, being an investor and not living in the property. I would also say that's it's not necessary right now, because you're bringing in an objection that's not even come up, right? So you've brought up a stumbling block yourself.
okay.
So by bringing that up without having to explain that, actually now you've got to now defend it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So let them ask that before you bring that up if you can. So again, easier said than done. One of the main lead-ins though that I want you to do, and we're going to try this again. I'm going to talk it, and then I want you to have a go. So let's say that the VA's information is on the flip side, that they've got this lead's come in and I'm calling you back, right? And the VA's left it like, okay, Rob's going to look at it and make you an offer. What you could do is look at the VA's information, right? And then have something already that you're going to ask that you need more of, for instance. So what I would do is I want you to say, hello.
Hello.
Hey, is that Rob?
Yeah, that's Rob. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, Rob, you spoke to JP yesterday about your property on 123 Main Street.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so he gave me, I know he got a load of information here from you, but I have a couple more questions that I need to ask you to best prepare this offer that I want to give you here. I understand that it's a 3-2, again, list, all the things. But he never asked about the roof. How old's the roof?
It's probably about 3 years old.
Okay, so off role play. You see how I went in with a full structure? I already identified that he got the information, but he'd not got everything that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm going in there with a clear lead in to controlling that conversation.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
perfect.
this is why I'm here. Yes, he got all these things, but I need a couple more things from you to best position. So you're in control of that. Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. What do you
Yep.
need? Well, look, firstly, great to meet you. I mean, this seems like a great house. I've just been looking at Zillow. Now, you can transition in multiple ways now to get the conversation going. But that first 10, 15 seconds lead in is very, very important to control and engage.
Yeah.
Because if you come in like uh, you're on the defense and you're the one that's trying to explain why you're here and you're up against it already, then
Yeah.
you're in a weak position.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I've been getting. So
Where you need to come in and try and dominate early and go, I'm controlling it. This is why I'm here. This is what I need. Now he's gone, oh, okay, makes sense. Well, hey, before we get into that, how's it going? Or now you can pull the boundary down and try to engage and build rapport. You see the difference?
yeah.
And then if they spout back at you, right, by saying, well, I gave all this yesterday. No, I understand. Like I said, I mean, I don't have, did you tell them the age of the roof? Because I don't have that. What about the AC? I don't have that. These are things that I need.
Yeah.
They talked about this garage. What's the shape of the garage? I mean, there's always something that they've missed, right?
Yeah.
That you can pivot into. And again, control, because when you have that authority on the phone, they're going to take note and engage with you, rather than the weak of coming in of not having that control. Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
You see the difference where you were letting me, when I was the seller, you were letting me dominate the conversation. When I was the buyer, I still dominated the conversation, right? So you want to make sure as the buyer that you're dominating, and then just be asking questions, gathering information, and then again, positioning, going, saying, hey, I'm gonna look at the numbers, make the offer. And you want to really be trying to get out, the motivation, the situation, the time frame, the price, the condition. They're the talking points that you're trying to get information on, while just building that rapport and just having a chat of, like the guy at the beach, right? He wants that you just engage in. So the VA is not going to be able to do that. So anyway, let's have another go. And I'm going to be the seller again, and you're going to be the buyer. Let's have another go at positioning it in that way, right? So, ring. Hello.
Hey, Gavin, this is Rob. I understand you spoke with my assistant yesterday about the property at 123 Fake Street.
Yeah.
So I know it's a 3-2, but I had some questions about the kitchen and stuff. He didn't get that information. Did I catch it at a bad time?
No, now's good. Yeah, I can answer that.
All right, great. So, I got to ask some questions about the property. Could you tell me a little bit more about like the kitchen and the roof and things like that?
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is a rental, probably about 7 years, how old the roof is. And we probably had the kitchen done, I don't know, like 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, great. So, why are you thinking about selling?
Well, I mean, you called, so, and you wanted to buy it. So I thought, well, yeah, maybe now's the right time.
Okay, great. So really, you haven't really been thinking about it until we called?
No, great question, by the way. No, not really. No, I mean, me and my wife talked about it now and again, but never really done anything. And then you called, so I thought, well, maybe at the right offer, we might get rid of it.
Okay, great. So we did kind of pique some interest, and so have you given a thought about like what you might want to get for the property at all?
Great question. No, not really. I don't know. I'd have to look and do some research. I mean, what would you offer?
Okay. So usually we get that question. So, let me ask you a little bit more about the property. These kind of the technical questions, and I just want to make sure that what the VA took down is correct. So I have 3-2. Is that correct? 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Could you tell me what the square footage is?
It's 2,000 square foot.
Oh, so it's a pretty big house.
Yeah.
Is it rented now?
Yeah, it's rented.
Okay. You get pretty good tenants? It's going to make my dog bark.
No, sorry. Yeah, good tenants. Yeah, they've been there for about 5 years.
5 years. Wow. So that's awesome. You don't get those guys very much.
No, they're the good tenants. They're good.
Nice. Good deal. So, are they on a lease still, or are they month to month?
Um, they're on a month to month. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, they're paying a little under market rent. But they've been so good, I just didn't want to put the rent up on them.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens quite a bit too. They're
Yeah.
probably a pretty good landlord. So, at this point, you're just kind of getting tired of being a landlord. I mean,
Not really. Just, it's the only one that we have now to sell, if we were going to sell it. And just timing might be right.
okay. So when you say it's the only one that you have now, did you have other properties in the past?
Yeah, we've had probably about 10 in the past on and off. And this is the only one that we have now. So,
Okay. So you've been downsizing your portfolio.
yeah, for sure. Over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
So if you were to sell this to me or to anybody else, why would you?
Good question. Well, that's a great question. So just off role play, these are all good questions because it's making them think, right? Because I'm holding information back, right? That obviously I want to sell, but I'm not just spouting out. So by asking these questions, you keep digging at the why, trying to uncover what the real reason is here. Because there's more to it than I'm letting on, right? So ask me that question again. Let's jump back in.
Okay. So if you were to sell this property to me or anybody else, why would you?
Well, like I said, you called, and I think the timing's right. What's going on in the world today, and it just might be nice just to get rid of it and get the money. Why I can.
Just get rid of it?
Yeah, what would you offer?
Well, okay. So again, we got to kind of go back to the property, and sometimes these questions that I have to ask would get a little bit uncomfortable, and I hope that that's okay. I apologize in advance. But would you mind telling me about what the rent is in there?
Yeah, we rent it for $900 a month.
900.
Yeah.
You said that's a little bit under market value. What would you?
Yeah, we've not put it up in 5 years, so I don't know. I don't even want to know what it could rent for, but I'm probably guessing 12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. So that seems like a pretty good rent, and that's a pretty big difference. So
yeah,
that's is like the not raising the rent, is it something that you didn't want to do because you don't want to make the tenant uncomfortable?
yeah, really, they've been good, and there's a lot of nightmare tenants out there, and these have been really good. Took great care of they're not a hassle at all, and there's a lot to be said about that. It makes it easy for me. They're not bad tenants at all, but they are underpaying. But if I got someone in there paying $1,200 and they're calling me every week, then I'm not going to, enjoy that as much. So I kind of feel it's kind of just a wash regardless.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of just a wash. You're not really
Yep.
getting everything that you could be getting out of it.
Yeah.
Sure. But I completely understand that. So knowing that and just kind of knowing that it's a wash, I mean, what would you look to walk away from the property? I mean, what would it take?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, why don't you run some numbers and throw something at me and we can start there.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but it's your house and you did have another portfolio, and you're kind of dwindling down. I mean, do you have any idea what it might be worth?
So this is off role play. This is good because you're getting me to forcing the decision, right? So how I'm acting and that I'm not getting aggressive with you or passive aggressive, like sometimes you're going to get that. Look, you call me, just make me the offer. And then you know when you need to rein it in. But as I'm acting now, you just keep chipping because I'm going to give. And even now I'm thinking like, all right, okay. And I'm getting close to throwing something out, right? Well, the other thing that you could do is that you could throw a low ball out to try and get a reaction, right? So let's say that you already know that this might be worth 160, right? or you'd be offering 160, whatever. You know, you could just say, well, I don't know, let's say something ridiculous then. Like, what would you entertain? Would you entertain 110? I mean, what would you even say to me if I said that? And if I said, oh, absolutely not, 110 is ridiculous. Well, what would it be then? How close are we? So you can start, because we're having that conversation and we have that relationship where it's going, like we can play that card. That's something that you could do. Okay. So good. What you want to be doing now is trying to wrap it up, because we, again, don't want to be on too long, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to be making sure that now we're pushing, we're controlling. So you've had another go. Let's jump back in. And I say, honestly, Robert, I'm just really not sure. I don't know what I want. I mean, I've got to look at it and I've got to see what the market's doing. I can't bring up a number. I'm not sure.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a property that we'd definitely be interested in. You know, it fits like the criteria that we're looking for. But if I was to make you an offer, I mean, would you take, what would you say if I said 110? That would be way off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 110 seems low to me. Yeah, again, I'd have to look, but yeah, it seems like way out. You know, yeah,
Really?
it's too low.
Too low?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your now comeback would be, how close are we?
Yeah.
That's that. Right.
Okay. So how close are we?
And in that question, you see how you're like now controlling it and you're making me really think. And a lot of sellers won't be able to be like, oh, man, like, I don't know. And you're going to get them thinking and you're trying to get a number. Like, I don't know. So at this point, I might say, I don't know. I got to look, and I might pull, or I might give in and say, look, well, I've got to at least get 150. And this happens time and time again to get a number. I've gone from, you make me an offer, I'm not giving you a number. And as we've asked these questions and controlled this conversation, we're just giving in. And before we're at the end of the conversation, I've already gave you the number. You already know now the number to go at. And you know if we're miles away or if we're close, or if I've said 150, you know I'm going to go lower than that. So there's so many things that you can kind of drag out. But what I want you to take from all of this, and you did a great job, by the way, so awesome, is controlling the conversation. You see the difference?
Yeah.
And not bringing up objections like you did in the first instance. Like, oh, I'm an investor and I'm not living there. And he never asked you that. So you're going off on a tangent and creating problems for what? You know what I mean? You've just made it harder. Oh, so you're not living? Oh, so you're an investor? You're probably going to pay me nothing. And you've now opened up a problem that might have not been necessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what I mean? Unless they say, are you living here? No, I'm an investor. I'm looking for an investment property. Something that, just like you, Mr. Seller, I want something that I can rent out. And it sounds like, you want to maybe get rid of this, and it's your last one. And, if we can make these numbers work, then, I might be able to buy it. Right.
Yep.
So awesome job. Any other questions on that?
No, actually, you kind of nailed like the majority of the questions that I had.
Yeah.
I can't think of any right now.
Okay, good. But you understand like where to ask that and to get that why, to come in, to control, to build rapport, back in control, asking questions, and then just keep backing them. And then it's about the personality. You are going to get the abrupt one that's going to let you go. And you got to pull back and go, all right. I'm just trying to, look, Rob, I'm just trying to get a number to see where we're at. That's all. I don't want to waste your time. I mean, you might say you want 300,000. I'm not paying you 300,000. So I'm trying not to waste your time, to be honest. And then you can kind of play that card. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. Good job, man. I appreciate it. Keep it going. Let's see how this changes now in your conversations and see what you can do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you.
No problem. Guys, if you're watching us, give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel and also the podcast, REI Network Podcast with Gavin Tim's YouTube channel. And we'll see you on the next video. All right. Appreciate it. Bye.
All right, cool.